breaking news, local Republican leaders have selected Lamont Mayor John Egofsky to replace former House Republican leader Jim Durkin, to replace him in the Illinois legislature. And you brought up a really great point, but your thoughts on this selection?
Well, thank you for publishing that in the Illinois Review. People need to know what's happening in the leadership of the party. And my tweet was, it was, quote, "The good old boys in the GOP swing and miss again. At least they're consistent." And I said to stay tuned for my thoughts on how the Republican Party has failed to reach the voter base that I think and many people think they need most, which is women. And I think you could actually expand upon that and say also the minority class, and not just working class, but the minority class in general. You know, they're leaning more and more conservative. And the Republican Party, again, as I said in the previous segment, is struggling to really define itself. But you have a lot of political orphans who are putting these issues at the front and center of their ballot, and they're not finding a party that's really tackling it. So they go for the Democrat because it's kind of like the safety net, but they're not really cool with that either. But if the Republican Party, again, it's fertile ground for the conservative values to really be front and center on the ballot. But the Republican Party chose a man, Lamont Mayor, who is voting Democrat. So it's just more of the same. And they're not reaching the women. And there was a strong female contender who is Hispanic and is a mother of a child with special needs. I won't name her. I don't want to out her. I don't feel I have the place to do that. But she was a contender, and she would have been phenomenal, because this is where you're seeing a lot of real change happening at the polls in the last couple of elections, is the minority community. They are leaning more and more conservative, but they're not finding a party to really take them in. And so now we have the Republican Party, who has chosen a white, I don't know how old he is, I don't know, is he in his 60s, guy who has voted Democrat. This is the wrong direction. And so, yes, I have more continued thoughts on this, but they're losing more and more of their voters with this pick, in my opinion.
I guess it shouldn't be shocking, right? Because at least the establishment has been consistent in, not having any real conservative values, not valuing the grassroots. Their priorities are all about serve me versus service, or serve us, meaning the entrenched establishment. And you make an incredibly powerful point.